Today we will start that session. Okay. See, already in last class, that means in demo, just we discussed about what exactly that RPA and so how the RPA is benefit to that organizations that we discussed. Then simple recap this one, and then after that we will continue the session. Okay, RPA is called as a robotic process automation, and simply this RPA mainly used for only back office transactions purpose. We are using these RPA tools. Okay, see what exactly the back office transactions. What exactly the back office transactions? See, every organization, so morning to evening, they are doing their business. Okay, so that means that purpose they are using the different applications. They may be use that web applications. They may be the desktop use the desktop applications. They may be used that SAP applications, mainframe applications, and etc. They are using that several applications. See, best they're using that several applications, and by end of the day, so whatever the transactions is done, so that transaction purpose they are taking they are generating that reports and then sending that reports to the customers or process owner. At the same time, see, um, they are based on the requirement, they are updating the data in their applications. So everyone is called as a whatever that everyone is called as a back office transaction. So, and these kind of transactions, so repeatedly we have to perform it. That means in the business applications and day to day, same kind of task we have to repeat it. So that's why this is also called as a repeat. This is also called as a repeated transactions. And also, it is also called as a clerical activity. For example, if you take one clerk, he is coming to that office, he is doing the same kind of work daily. Okay, and then he is going to opening that application and then so log on to that application and then updating the data and then and retrieving and download the data from that applications and then so and based on the requirement updating the data and end of the day he closed that application and then tomorrow also he is doing that same kind of task. Okay, so the data will be changes here, that's it. See, so that's why these are also called as a clerical activity. So these kind of repeated transactions purpose only we are using that RPA tools. So see, in that means if you use that any RPA tool, they are doing that same kind of job. Okay, see, by using these RPA tools we can reduce that full-time employment and we can reduce that infrastructure and then increase that faster performance and then increase that accuracy and then reduces the cost. So how can you reduce that full-time employment? For example, 20 members are working in a single process, but once if you have fully automate the particular process, and then we can reduce almost 70% of the people we can reduce from this from that work itself. So that means, see, already, so 20 members are working in that one, and I have removed that 14 members from the task itself. So because it is a completely only the repeated transactions, so that's why. So my software robot already doing that same kind of job 24/7. Okay, at that time, so I have a scope to reduce that full-time employment. Okay, and then see, once if you reduce that employment and no need of use that more infrastructure, so and no need to use that more space and no need to use that more space and and no need to use that more systems. So like so we can reduce that infrastructure and then performance is faster. So that performance is faster as a for example, as a human, if I wants to enter the data into that application, so it will take time. Okay, but so as a software robot, simply it will be logically read the data and update the data. So and in manual process it will take more time, but after automation it will take very less time. So that's why it is the faster performance and accuracy. See, in a manual typing automatically will made mistakes, but it is a software robot logically read the data. So that's why with logically it will be read the data and update the data here. So that's why it is update the data here. So, and accuracy also increased here. Accuracy also increased here. So finally, we are reducing the cost, and then by reducing that full-time employment and by reducing that infrastructure, and then we have reduced that cost. So that's why only all the organizations is moving to that RPA tools. Okay. See, by using that RPA tool, there is no possibility to develop any one of the new application. Okay, whatever that applications are there, so we can automate it. Whatever that application we are in that organization regularly. So if you want to update the data and retrieving the data and like whatever that repeated works are there, that works only it will be automated. Okay, see, here we have a many tools are there. Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism, UiPath, Nice, and Work Fusion, and etc. Several tools are there. Right now, we are using that UiPath. The UiPath is right now it is more popular. In that UiPath, so we have a two editions. One is called as UiPath Community. Another one is called as UiPath Enterprise. UiPath Community, it is a trial version. UiPath Enterprise and UiPath Enterprise, it is a tested version. And then license key is required for this UiPath Enterprise. But in case if you want to use that UiPath Community, no need of license, no need of license. We can we can work with this community long time. Okay, and but in community it will be frequently updated. The community is frequently updated, and then it is not a tested version. Okay, see, in UiPath components, there are four components are there. That is called as UiPath Studio and UiPath Robot, UiPath Orchestrator, and UI Explorer. UiPath Studio, whatever the manual process is there, the manual process in the sense, say opening that application and opening that application and so log on to that application and then so updating the data and downloading the reports and the sending that mails, it is completely the manual process. That process can be implemented in UiPath Studio. That process can be implemented in UiPath Studio and UiPath Robot. So it is basically it is used to execute that process. Whatever the process you have implemented in the studio, that process can be executed by using that UiPath Robot. We can execute that process by using that UiPath Robot. And another one is called as UiPath Orchestrator. The UiPath Orchestrator, this is the central repository of the bot. This is the central repository of the bot. See, based on the requirement, I have implemented many processes. So, and all the processes, if you want to trigger in the single machine at a time, there is no possibility. See, at a time we can run only one process in that single machine. Okay, after completion of that one process only, we can schedule that another process. Okay, see, but I have a more processes. All I want to trigger it at a time or different schedule time. At that time, we are using that UiPath orchestrator. So this is the web-based server. So there is having the scheduler is available in that UiPath orchestrator. So that's why by using that scheduler, we can trigger that bot in multiple machines at a time or different schedule time based on the requirement, we can schedule it. And then UI Explorer. The UI Explorer, it is basically identify that UI element on the screen. So for example, if you are automating that, so one web application, in that web application, there is having that HTML controls. That means, so text box, radio button and drop down and check boxes and etc. See, all of them can be identified by using that UI Explorer. How human is identifying that UI element by seeing that particular text boxes, and like in the same way, if our software robot also identify the UI element by using that UI Explorer. So this UI Explorer will generate that one selector. So based on that selector only, it will be identify the UI element. See, observe this one. Right now, we'll go to that UiPath Studio. We'll go to that UiPath Studio. In UiPath Studio, we are implementing the process in workflow files. So there are different kinds of workflow files is available. So there is the different kinds of workflow files is available. So that is called as process workflow, transactional process, and state machine and RE framework, robotic enterprise framework. See, this is the process workflow. So this process workflow, initially it is called as blank project. That means 2016 and 17, the process workflow name is called as blank process. And 2018 itself, the name changed. So right now, the name is called as process. And it is a linear workflow. It supports only simple business process only we can implement in this process workflow. This is completely linear workflow. It executes that activities one by one. That means top to bottom executes that activities one by one here. And this one is called as a transactional process. The transactional process in 2016 and 17 name is called as a flowchart, and 18 itself the name changed, that is called as a transactional process. And then it is a non-linear workflow. It supports complex business process implementation purpose. We are using this complex business process implementation purpose using this. See, complex business process implementation purpose using this transactional process. And another one is called as state machine. That state machine is available inside this studio. The state machine is mainly used for large scale business process implementation purpose using that one. And see, the state machine advanced one is called as RE framework. So robotic enterprise framework. Right now, we'll discuss about the process workflow. So first of all, so click on that process and then give the name of the process. I want to give that name is called as sample. Name is called as sample. Go to that F drive. I want to create one folder here. So whatever that, so regular, whatever the use cases here I am implementing. So each and every use case, I want to save it in a separate folder. So that's why I want to create one folder here. Just select that folder, double click on that, select that folder, and click on that create. Click on that open main workflow. Click on that open main workflow. See, in UiPath Studio, we are mainly working with five panels. One is called as a main panel. Here only we are implementing our process. And another one is called as an activity panel. From activity panel itself, based on your automation, just we are drag and drop, such that activities in activity panel, and then so drag and drop that activities into this main panel. Okay. See, another one is called as properties panel. In the see every activity having their own properties. So and we are interacting with property panels frequently. This is the third panel, and another one is called as variable panel. So in this variable panel only we are creating that variables. So this is called as a fourth panel. And see, here it is called as a project panel. In this project panel, we can create that more than one workflow files. These five panels we are very frequently interacting with, interacting in this UiPath Studio. Right now, I want to implement a simple process. See, drag a sequence, drag a sequence, drag that message box, drag and drop. UiPath Studio. See, click here, run that file. See, just a simple message I have displayed in this message box. Observe this one. In case if you want to debug this one, step by step, so execution we can see in this debug mode. Okay, just if you click on this one, so click here. Okay, displays that a path message. See, observe this one. Here I have selected that activity from that activity panel itself, and then so I have drag and dropped into this main panel. In this message box I have given that UiPath Studio. So this message, observe this one, see added in this properties. Once if you select that any one of the activity, so and every activity having their own properties, that is having that input properties and then output property. See, in this input property, so in that there is a text property. In this one, just I have add that so text in this one UiPath Studio, the text I have added. Okay, See, observe this one. See, the message basically, in case if you have done that, any that means any expression you have solved in this UiPath Studio, if you want to display that result at that time, we are using that message box. The message box is called as user interactive. The message box is called as a user interactive. That means, so click here and run that file at that time. So we will get the message box. In that message box, it display that result. Once if you click on that OK, then only, so again you return to the studio. Right now, I want to delete this message box. To display that result purpose, I want to use that one more activity that is called as write line is the activity. Write line is the activity. See, drag and drop. See here, I want to give that, see, orchestrator. Just I have given that orchestrator is the message. See, go to that output panel. Here, nothing here. Okay, right now, so nothing in this output panel. So right now, I want to display that. I want to display this result in this output panel. Okay, how we are displaying that result in the console in that C language? Like here, if you want to display that result in that output panel at the time we are using that right line is the activity. Observe this one. The right line is not user interactive. Okay, so right now click here, run the file. Observe this one. Go to that output panel. In this output panel, there is having that orchestrator. Simple message displayed here. That is the orchestrator, some message. See, this is the simple use case. See, if you want to use that both of them, you can able to use it based on your requirement. I want to drag that message box. In the message box, I want to display that. So message is called as UiPath Studio, and in output, in that output panel, I want to display that orchestrator message. Okay, so right now click here, run this file. One activity is called as an user interactive, one activity is not a user interactive. Okay, so click on that OK. And if you want to see that result, so again you have to go to that output panel and click on that and see that result in that output panel. See, observe this one. See, right now, I want to implement a simple process. So I want to find that addition of two numbers. Okay, see, observe this one. Once any process is successfully executed, that is auto-saved. No need to separately save that file. Once if it is successfully executed, automatically it will be saved. Otherwise, just you can directly click on that save. It will be saves that one. Okay, and after saving this file, if you want to create one more file, go and click on that home, and then so click on the sorry. See, right now I want to click on that process workflow. Click on that process workflow. I want to give that name is called as addition of two numbers. Addition of two numbers. Select that location. Go to the F drive. 8 AM batch 2. Select that folder and click on that create. If I want to find that addition of two numbers, see, first of all, I have to take that inputs. I have to take the two inputs, and then so and I will get that one result. That see that result I have to display it here. See, observe this one. First of all, I want to drag one sequence. A sequence is called as a container. Drag and drop. Okay, drag and drop. See, right now a sequence is a container. In this container, we can drag and drop more than one activities. there is no limit for that one. See, right now I will go to that variable panel. If I want to perform that addition of two numbers, then so I have stored that so constants in that variables. So that's why, see, I want to create that variables first. So that's why just I have click on that variable panel, and then here we have a name is called as create variable. Click on that create variable, and then so here a is the variable, and then there is the variable type. So I want to select that integer type, and then so I want to create that one more variable that is called as b. See, in 32, and then select that another variable is called as c, and select that in 32. So after creating these variables, again click on that variable panel. The variable panel will be hides. Click on that. Right now, drag that assign activity, drag that assign activity, drag that assign activity, drag that message box. See, observe this one. See, assign activity, it is behave like a assignment operator. In every programming language, so assignment purpose we have used that equal to is the operator. Okay, so the equal to operator always assign that right side value to the left side variable. See, in our UI path, they have given that assign is the activity. That assign activity will assign that right side value to the left side variable. So right now, observe this one. See, already I have created the variable. Right now, I want to give the enter that variable. Once if you enter that variable, here you will get that intelligence. See, here already we have created the variable that it is showing here. Okay, right now a is equal to 100, and so b equals to 200, and c equals to a plus b. See, after solving this expression, I have stored that result in C variable. Okay. See, I want to display that result. See, in that message box, I want to give that C variable. So C variable contains that result. So that's why I have given here. So right now, click here, run this file. Displayed that result is called as 300. But I want to display that result with message. Okay, so before this variable, I want to display that some message. So that is called as, see, double quotes. Result is equals to plus operator. C is called as a variable. C dot C. Actually, so before that C variable, just I have just I have written that some message. Okay, one string I have written here. See, result is equals to in double quotes. So, and after that I want to display that result. C contains that result, but here it is showing that validation. Okay, see, option strict on disallow implicit conversion from string to double. Actually, the C variable is called as an integer type, but I want to display that result, that means C value with this message. This time you must be convert that variable into string type. So this time just you have to press that dot operator, and then just you have to select that string. Okay, to string, just you have to select that one. So right now it is converting that C variable into string type. It is looking like the number, but already the number is converted into string type. So in that message box it will be shows that result is equals to, and so whatever the result, both are displayed right now. So click here and run that file. Result is equals to 300. Okay, result displayed in that message box. Click on that OK. Click on that OK. See, in my project panel, I have only one workflow file. I want to create another workflow file. See, if you want to create another workflow file, click here, click on that sequence. Then it will be create that another workflow file. Okay, right now I want to save as my current workflow file. See, click here, save as, and see, edition 2. Observe this one. See, I have taken that inputs by using that assign activity. Okay. Right now, I want to remove these two assign activities. Observe this one. I will go to that variable panel. In the variable panel, so here we have a default. Okay. In case if you didn't assign that any value to that variable by default, so the value is called as 0. Suppose if you want to see that one, so click here and then run this file. The result is equals to 0. Observe this. See, go to the variable panel. In this variable panel, I want to take that input values that is called as 100 or 1000, and then so take that b value is called as 500. Okay, see, this is also one way of that assignment. Okay, I have taken that input values in this variable panel in that default. Okay, right now click here, run this file. The result is equals to 1500. Okay, click on that. Okay, observe this one. So go to that project panel. Right now, I have a two workflow files. One is called as main workflow file. Another one is called as, I have given that name is called as edition 2. Okay, both are in the same workflow, same project. Okay, addition of two numbers is the one project. In that one, we have a two workflow files. There is no limited to creating that workflow files here. Okay, see, observe this one. I have initialized the value by using that assign activity and then by using that variable panel. Okay. By using that variable panel also, I have taken that input value. But based on the requirement, I want to take that input value at runtime. Okay. So right now, if you want to take that input value at runtime, so we have to use that activity is called as input dialog box is the activity. Right now, I will show you. Click Save As, Edition 3. Edition 3. Right now, see, observe this one. I have removed the default values here, and then I want to take that input values by using that input dialog box. See, we know about that scanf function in C language. See, by using that scanf function, we can take that input at runtime. Okay. See, in the same way, if you want to take that inputs at runtime, you have to use that activity is called as input dialog box is the activity. Okay. Take that activity is called as input dialog box. drag that input dialog box. I want to take one more input dialog box. By using this input dialog box, we can read that input at runtime. See, already I have created that variables. Already I have created the variables A, B, and C. I want to take that input into that A and B variables at runtime. So this time, see here in this input dialog box. So here there is a title. See, I want to add the title is called as, so enter input. I want to add that another type. See, there is a label here. Enter a value. Okay. See here in the last text box, just you have to pass that variable. A is the variable. Just you have to pass it here. See, already I have selected this input dialog box. Go to the properties. In this properties, label is called as enter a value. Title is called as enter input. And so at the time of runtime, it will be displayed that one input dialog box, and in that input dialog box we have a one text box. Once if you enter that value in the text box, that will be stored in this output property. The output property is called as a is the property here. Okay, a is the variable I have added in this output property. Whatever we have added here, that is available in this property panel. Okay, in this output property. See, right now in the same way, just I want to show you. So I want to take that enter input, and after that enter b value, and then b is the variable. B is the variable. Go to the properties. B variable is available here. After taking that input at see, solve that expression. Result is displayed in this message box. Right now, click here, run this file. Observe this one. Whatever the title is given, title added in this input dialog box in that header. Okay, this is the title bar, and then here enter a value. This is called as a label, and whatever the input value is given by me right now, okay, 500. So it will be stored in that a variable. Okay, in this first input dialog box, output property is called as a. In that variable, it will be stores that. So click on that OK, and then I want to give that 2000. So enter B value, click on that OK. So result is equals to 2500. Okay, click on that OK. Observe this one. See, I want to show you again. Observe this. Click on the debug. See, observe this one. Here there is an input dialog box. In this input dialog box, there is a title, enter input. The title is added here, and then see, label is added here, and then and here we have your text box, and then whatever the input is given, that will be stored in this output property, a variable. So that is called as 200, and another one is called as 300. Click on that OK. Finally display that result. See, based on the requirement, we are taking that input from that another application itself. We are not using that input dialog boxes. So based on the requirements, we are reading the data from another applications. That means, so we can read the data from that Excel files, or you maybe get the read the data from, so any open desktop application or any open web application, you maybe read the data from, so PDF files, and then maybe read the data from JPEG files and image files, and then you maybe read the data from, so database itself, like based on the requirement. So you can read the data from the different sources at the time of runtime. Right now, so we are in very starting stage. So that's why I have taken that inputs by using that input dialog box. Okay. Do you have any queries here? See, See, right now, I will show you how to download and install this tool right now. See, observe this one. If you want to, already I have successfully executed this process. So that's why. So I want to click on that close. No need to save separately. If you want to download and install this studio, first of all, just you have to open that platform.uipath.com. Just open this one. By using this URL, you have to connect to that UiPath cloud. Just you have to connect with UiPath cloud. By using your Gmail account, so just you have to log on to this UiPath cloud, continue with Google account. See, so after completion of this class, I will send that recording. No worry about that voice. Okay. See, just I want to connect to that orchestrator. Sorry, UiPath cloud with Google account. See, here, if you are first time log on to that UiPath cloud, so it will be shows that simple form. In that one, just you have to fill that data, and then see it will ask that organization name. Just you can give that organization name is called as XYZ. Like you can give that, no worry about that one. After that, here it will be shows that one banner. Okay, actually already I have registered, so that's why it is, and so banner is appear, but I have closed that one. In case here, if you get that any banner, that banner you have to minimize it and then close that one. After closing that, so in the right side panel, it will be shows that. So see in that right side panel, it will be shows that download studio, and if you click on that, so if you click on that, it just if you click on that, it within 2 minutes your UiPath Studio will be download here. Okay, within 2 minutes there is the setup file. Just you have to double click on that, and then so automatically it will be installed. So here the prerequisites are, so at least Windows 7 is the OS, and then at least 4 GB RAM. Okay, in case if you have that Windows 8 and Windows 10 10 OS, then it is very fine. Okay, see, and within 2 minutes it will be download, and double click on that, and it will be install it. In case if you have any issues to installing that UiPath Studio in the tomorrow in the next class, so in case if you share your screen, then I will show that how to install that one. Okay. In case if you have any issue, and see a day-to-day classes, and then whatever that use cases, I will share it to your mail. In case if you wants to continue, uh, if you want to continue the regular class, then please share your mail IDs in this chart. Okay. So, so in this chart, just you have to share your mail IDs.